Welcome back, friends, family, and other creatures of the sea. It's another high-level game between MaxPax's in the bottom left as a red Protoss player, and in the top right as the blue Terran player. They're going to be Gumiho. Both players playing for Team Storm, of course. So we have the depot being built at the ramp here, and no SCV on the map yet. And for Gumiho, that is a big step, because he is addicted to proxying buildings somewhere on the map. We'll see how he's going to open. He's had a lot of different openers lately. I'm curious to see what he's opting for this time around. Just gonna see a quick gas coming out of him though. Lately he's been playing some 18, 19 gas type of openers, triple marine first, against both Zerg and Protoss. So I was kind of hoping for that, but it's not going to be the case. So we'll just, what is this? Oh, this opens up a path towards this base. Oh, this is a wild map, by the way. Look at that. There's a couple of rocks down here. So we have a natural. I assume this to be a third base, or this could be a third base. There's double gas there as well. Do we have any gold? No, there's a rich Vespine geyser here. And there is a watchtower on the right side as well. MaxPax's checked very carefully for any potential proxies, except on this far left side. And we'll open up with a Nexus before core. Kind of indicating that he will go for a Stargate opener here. What's he gonna be doing with this? Nah, you're not getting a pylon first, right? You mad what? No, that is the incorrect play, my friend. That is actually not the build order as we know it. Sir, please don't do that again. Yeah, the second gas is supposed to be taken before the pylon. Especially when you're playing Nexus before core. Well, just mainly when you're playing Nexus before core. If you play core before Nexus, it is fine to get the pylon before the gas. Actually, that would be the correct thing to do. But here, this fast pylon did absolutely nothing. He didn't even chrono boost the probes, right? No. Okay, I'm super confused right now. This makes no sense. He will go into a quick warp gate, however. And that will allow him to maybe get a couple extra gateways, throw down a Twilight Council as well. So we see that Twilight Council will not fit here. He wanted to go and build it there, but he messed up that first pylon placement. Should have been a bit further to the left. Then the Cybercore can be here and the Twilight can be behind. Instead, we're seeing it like this. Yikes. It is what it is. Life isn't always perfect. And this SimCity definitely isn't perfect. Second Adept's also going to get chrono boosted here, as the first unit for Gumiho is going to be a Marine followed up by a Cyclone. So a tech lab was built on that barracks and then a Cyclone first. Gumiho does this very often when he's not scouting whatsoever, and then we'll follow this up with a 2-3 racks, sometimes just a 1-1-1 type of build order as well after the second racks. He has lots of weird openers. And this Adept is going to take out an SCV and then should immediately shade away. It's going to be kind of close. I actually think that this Adept will die. Cyclone's going to start marching across the map as well, as this will be a Dark Templar drop MaxPax. Okay, that's cool. I like that. We don't see this build very often. And with this Cyclone moving across, there's no battery being here. Yeah, Stalker needs to be built. I even think this needs to be chrono boosted. Oh! Gumiho accidentally move commanded back home, or I'm not quite sure what he's doing. Maybe he's afraid of an Oracle. If he would have gone across the map with this Cyclone, there would have been just a huge issue here. It's going to be a double Cyclone, double Marine move out. This is a build I have never seen before in my entire life. This Adept is going to fall. That means that it's the second Adept that will go down. Overall units lost will be in favor of Gumiho, and Gumiho also decides to go home. Seeing two Adepts probably... No, what is he doing? He's moving like he's a freaking bot or something like that. It's quite confusing. I do not like that. These two Cyclones will also find this Prism. Huge pick-off. No! It gets saved by the bushes here. The bushes near the watchtower saving this Prism. And that is huge. At least temporarily saving this Prism. It might still get taken out. No. The Cyclones instead will just go for this Nexus. We'll get the cancel. And now Gumiho should be aware that there is a Dark Templar drop coming in. Immediately starts on eBay, sends the third Cyclone, which he for whatever reason built as well on the map. He's gonna get two Stalker pickups. What is this opener, honestly? Oh, is he gonna be in the correct position to find this? Yes, he finds it. Is MaxPax paying attention? He is not. Gumiho is, which means that this Prism is going to fall. What a fantastic start here for Gumiho. Who, look at this units lost. A Prism, two Stalkers, two Adepts, and he lost an SCV and a Marine. There's still triple Cyclones on the map, and this follow-up push is going to hit extremely hard right now. Dark Templar is being warped in. There's one scan available. that the DDT defense might actually work because of that. With only a single scan available, you need to start fighting this army ASAP with the DTs here, MaxPax. It is a necessity. It's not something you can just walk by, I think. Or you might just end up losing your third base for a second time. Blink, not done yet. Starport is on the way. There is 4 or 5 Marines at home, and they will be capable of taking out this DT. Or at least deterring it from walking in. Taking out perhaps not so much. Triple Cyclone will latch onto these Stalkers, and Super Battery immediately gets activated. The Cyclone is still dealing a lot of damage. Tank will siege up, and a single DT gets warped in. There's no scan available, I believe. No, there is still 1 scan available. This DT will go down. Tank is trying his best to take out these Stalkers. I actually believe that a stim on top of these Stalkers would have been the correct call here. Instead, Gumiho will decide to take out 8 workers. But because Blink isn't done yet, all of these Stalkers can just die. They would have just died if the Marines were there to defend the tank. Now, however, Gumiho will need to start running back home. Cyclones will get taken out as well. And what started as a great fight will continue being a great fight for Gumiho. Honestly, although this 1 DT is making life a little bit harder, both players floating a fair amount of money. A 3rd CC could be thrown down here for Gumiho. No, instead opts to go for 2 barracks. He still has money for that 3rd CC though, so still could be going for that. Couple of gateways are being thrown down as well. Prism on the way right now as MaxPax is feeling like he has some potential for his aggression here. Starts his +1, starts his charge as well. And units lost, he is still behind. However, supplies are getting closer. And with that infrastructure also being thrown down, perhaps this situation isn't all that bad for MaxPax. +1 infantry weapons is going to finish up here. 2 extra medevacs are on the way as well as we speak. And the +1 infantry weapons finish up just now. 3rd CC on the way. We have the third base. This is a triple gas opener, by the way. The longer this game goes, and the longer they don't fight, the better it will be for Gumiho. So, although Gumiho doesn't know it, if Gumiho would just sit at home right now and start producing mines, that would be absolutely ace. That would be fantastic for Gumiho. Because the longer this fight doesn't start, the more bio he's going to have, and the better that will be against a pure gateway army. See, big blink into the main base. Ooh, is the Immortals going to try and drop on top of that tank? 1 Stalker will go down, 2nd Stalker will fall. No, 2nd Stalker stays alive. Good control there out of MaxPax's. We do have that Robo Bay and Robotics Facility being thrown down at the 3rd base. Not the ideal positions, but MaxPax's getting into his stack. He needs to wait for, well, it's going to be about 60 more seconds of scary moments, and from there on out I think MaxPax will be somewhat fine. Gumiho waited for a long time now. He waited for a very long time, and I think now is the time to start moving out, and this is the correct call in my opinion. Medevac can't be lost. Oh, good control here on MaxPax. These Blink Stalkers are dealing a lot of damage right now. There is a Prism here with 4 Zealots, which is going to go in to try and probably counter-attack. This army is sieging up as well. First 2 Colossi are on the way, but they're still 30-40 seconds away. Thermal Lance won't be done either. And with this tank count, it's just going to be really difficult. Oh, huge tank shots. We'll be taking out, two Stalkers. Snipe on the Observer as well. Good eyes there for Gumiho. We'll see that Observer immediately. So another Stalker will be taken out. And is there a good tank position here? Oh, yes, there is. Oh my god, this tank position will be insane to deal with. That does look kind of scary. You can also put 1 tank over here, perhaps. Not quite sure if that fits. At the same time, we do have that Prism drop in the main base. There's a lot of supply there for Gumiho. As these tanks siege up a little further back than I thought they would. I wouldn't mind having 1 over here a bit further to the right side. Would cover this low ground area just slightly more. I'm not quite sure if there's enough supply here for Gumiho though. Half his army isn't fighting, only 2 medevacs. 2nd stim gets used, but this army was already very low. Good target fire on the Colossi. Colossi will stay alive with 3 HP. Marauder will take it out in the dying seconds of this fight. 10 workers have gone down on the side of Gumiho, and MaxPax staying alive with 1 Colossi still here. Robo Bay has fallen, no thermal lance as a result of that. And still 2 tanks on the map as well. 9 Marauders, 14 Marines. DD Blink is being researched right now. I think that might be a bit too quick. There's a lot of gas in the bank. I wouldn't have minded a quick Templar Archives here in a situation where there's only 4 gas and you're aware that there's only 4 gas for the Terran. I believe getting a couple of Archons is not a mistake. It's difficult for the Terrans in that case to go for 2-2 upgrades and for Ghost. And Archons are kind of a great band-aid as long as there are no Ghost. Ghost production can't be happening the entire time either, of course, because there's just not going to be enough gas input. And the Archon usually is a great, just a bit of a band-aid to keep you together until you get into those higher Colossi numbers. Templar Archives is a building, of course, that works very well with the gateways. Once you have 1 Templar Archives, you immediately can build like 4 Archons. While if you have to wait for your Robo Bay to finish and then you start 2 Colossi at a time, like it all takes a very, very long time. These tanks are going to start moving into position, but the army for Gumiho just isn't that large. The medevac count is almost non-existent. And, well, actually, without thermal lens, I'm not quite sure if MaxPax's actually wants to fight that. I think that might be a mistake, yeah. Super Battery does get activated. These zealots need to be careful. MaxPax is going to try to kind of flank this army, but Gumiho is aware of that flank. Needs to start moving back. I don't think he can fight this with just his bio army. Then it's him half of his army there. This bottom side is winning, though. There's a lot of money in the bank for MaxPax, which he isn't spending. That's a huge error. As these 2 tanks continue shelling away at this base, we'll be able to take out the Nexus, it seems like. There we go. At the same time, 5-6 Marines make their way into the fort base. We'll start taking out probes as quickly as they can. Great play out of Gumiho here. Showing some brilliant multitasking. And MaxPax absolutely falling apart. Kind of crumbling under the pressure here. Floating 3k resources for the past minute and a half. And he's not really lacking the production either. I mean, he has 8 gateways. He was on double robos. He's getting his pylons now and adding more gateways. But yeah, this is not looking pretty whatsoever. Tanks are going to get picked up and once again move to this watchtower. I still believe MaxPax is in a very playable position. There's no armory on the way here. There's no Ghost Academy. Look at this, by the way. 5 dropped super depots here in the back. Absolutely fantastic. Means that he messed up a couple of times. 5 tanks are out on the map. 2 more Vikings as well coming in. 21 Marauders. Oi, 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 oi. Huge army split as well. Lots of DTs here on the left side. Gumiho not paying attention. Now comes the scan. There is Blink ready. It's going to get used, but a lot of the DTs did end up falling. I think this army will get pushed back, though. The left side army, however, seems to be in a slightly better shape. No medevacs to heal up this bruised and battered army, though. Big recall as well, which means that perhaps this army can get away with a pickup. Well, no pickup is being used right now. I do believe a quick boost and a pickup will be the preferred solution here over trying to kite back against Zealots. Gumiho does not agree. Still so much money in the bank for MaxPax. Just gets a 60T warp in. And now finally he's getting rid of all of that cash. Taking a fort base as well. Gumiho is extremely keen on finishing the game in the next minute or so. Well, rather faster than slower. He's completely out of medevac energy. Although he does have 5 medevacs. These tanks are not sieged up yet. But this army took a very hard engagement here. Good target fire on the tanks. Blink forward. Tanks still shelling down absolutely everything. No target fire here on the Stalkers and the Colossi, though. That was a mistake because both of these units do take a lot of damage from the tanks. The DTs don't really. And I think that might have actually decided the outcome of that fight. The bio should have been dealing with the DTs, while the tanks deal with the Stalkers and the Colossi, of course. 62 workers. There is still a decent bio force, and a lot of these medevacs have stayed alive so far. 2 more Vikings coming in. Stalkers once again picking off a Marine, and every Marine you can get is a good Marine. You want to take out those numbers. 3rd CC is going to fly over towards the fort base right now. So we still have a, well, at this point it's a 2-gas Gumiho. Of course, that's no problem if you're planning on sticking on 1-1 upgrades and no Ghost Academy forever. Now we finally have an extra gas being built here on that 3rd base. So these gases are mining. This is an extremely difficult situation. Oh, there actually is an armory. I wasn't quite aware of that. The +2. Yeah, it's going already. There's some action happening on the map. We have a single Marine scouting the bottom side. Good vision here for Gumiho, who is occupying both of the watchtowers right now. Double Colossi as well as thermal lens also on the way. Double Liberator. Still feels like Gumiho wants to go for a push that kills his opponent, but at the same time it feels like he really can't. His army is not as bruised anymore. There's a lot of medevac energy available. If he gets his lips in good positions, that might be kind of dangerous. Oh, tank is going to get picked off in the back here. Stalkers on the right side will also get killed by the Marauders though. Not quite sure if Gumiho can hold this position. First Colossi does go down. Liberator's dealing a lot of damage against these Zealots, with the super battery helping out there. Gumiho is going to get pushed back before +2 finishes up. Extended thermal lens finally finishing 15 minutes into the game. There's slightly more income here for Gumiho. MaxPax's is on a low work count, and Gumiho just mining off of 3 bases, of course, because he just floated over to that 4th base location with his main orbital. Once +2 finishes for Gumiho, I really think a Ghost Academy would be a fantastic call here. I feel like that this army would not benefit from having all their shields removed. It is a relatively small investment into 2-3 Ghosts, and it would help all of these fights tremendously. Right? Although there are no Archons, and there's also no Sentries, I still believe that it would be a good call. This army is going to actually kind of get caught here by Gumiho, or perhaps this army is going to catch Gumiho. Sometimes it's difficult to predict what's going to happen. Large GT run by marching towards this base, looking perhaps for some damage. Zealot is scouting that there is an army here as well. This DT probably is going to get spotted actually. No, will not get seen. There's a prism in the main base. Yeah, there's a lot of Zealots being warped in here. Double mines are going to be burrowing as well. Recall on this Colossi army. The Colossi army will go home to defend this. Gumiho tried to stim in, did not quite work out. DTs will take out all of the SCVs here, and this base is in absolute shambles. 3rd base, however, for MaxPax's also gets taken out. But I do think that Gumiho had a way worse trade than his opponent. DTs are going in and will start dying pretty quickly, but also take out a lot of SCVs and take out a lot of bio. So not even sure if this was necessarily a bad engagement. We'll try to run away with this DT. Blink not quite available. At the same time, this 5th base for MaxPax's is out, which is now turned into his 4th base. Means he has 2 clean bases that he is mining from. Still has 4 patches in his natural as well, and he's absolutely outmining his opponent at this point. He's up 30 supply as well. The upgrades are fine, completely even. So MaxPax's just in a pretty dominant position right now. As the DT starts once again looking if there's any SCVs there, sees the complete lack of SCVs and says to himself, well, that's great, I'll just wait here till they show up, or maybe a couple of mules rain down from the sky. For now though, all the mules raining down on this 3rd base for Gumiho. MaxPax's is trying to run around. I'm not quite sure why. I think a straight up engagement would be absolutely fine. There is about 7 units still stuck in these medevacs though. Should definitely be able to be dropped here. Army supply is actually slightly in favor of Gumiho, but that's of course not the case if you have a bunch of supply in your medevacs. There's only 17 workers remaining though. Here comes the drop of those units. DT blinks forward. Scan gets used immediately. A lot of Zealots are going to fall, but I don't think there's enough Gumiho, and I do believe there's slightly too much MaxPax's. As Gumiho taps out, MaxPax's wins this banger of a game here on Rejuvenation, one of the new maps in the TLMC competition. I'm not quite sure how well it did, but I'm sure it did well because it's a very pretty map and it plays out very fun. It seems like some cool tank positions. The watchtower is serving a nice purpose as well. Alright, that's going to be it for me today. Thanks all so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.